2000, sir, may ganun na ba na dynamics nun, sir?
Meron din. Meron din yun eh. We started with the bombing of a ferry boat and going to Osames. They tend to disown that.
Yung 2000, sir?
They tend to disown that. Di ba? It was the making of, sinasabi nilang breakaway forces ng MILF. They tend to disown that.
Di ba, sir, pumutok yung Osames, and then papasok na tayo sa...
Pumatok na yun. After that, there has been series of atrocities along the coastal areas. And then it was, it ended up Bravo taking over the whole of Causuagan Municipality. Ano nang nangyari doon sa nung 2000.
And then, di ba, sir, yun na yung nag-trigger?
And then, yeah, that triggered the launching of, initially, using own forces of 4th Division in the area, because usually Lanao before was under 4th Division. With forces coming in from 4th Division, 4th Division have its own contingency plan then to deal with the situation. But it's so timely that a Marine Brigade was coming from Palawan, the time to reinforce not Norte but Sur.
Yeah.
Because the problem then was the Narciso Ramos Highway in the south.
Pero nauna tayong pumutok.
Yes, but the big problem then was the occupation of the MILF of that Narciso Ramos Highway down to Abubakar.
So ipapasok sana yung Marines.
The Marines was about to be deployed per plan of the division then as G3A. The plan is to deploy the brigade of the Marines in Lanao del Sur, but practically in the coastal area down to Malabang, down to Balabagan and Kapatagan area. Yun yung original intent. But we shifted the deployment when Causuagan thing happened.
Na-delay nga, sir, sila. Sige nga, sir, paano yung first 2 days, sir?
That was the first 2 days, who reacted first? Initially, on forces of 4th Division yan. But nung nag-trigger na yan, in-occupy na nila yung municipal building doon, from the pier, we moved directly the Marine Brigade to launch the attack in Causuagan. Doon nagsimula yon. But of course, there are army forces there, organic to 4th Division. There are ranger units. How does it evolve? With the situation then is, we were able to push them away from Causuagan. And then, that was the time also that the President came in to visit Causuagan. At that moment, there has been several atrocities conducted not only in Causuagan, in Cotabato, in almost practically in Mindanao areas. That's why forcing the President to declare an all-out war.
That was April.
Remember, 4th Division forces then in Lanao Norte and Lanao Sur, we only have one brigade here. And that's Colonel Pigalan was the battalion commander of 30 IB here. And we have, I think, one battalion also in Lanao Norte. There are only 2 battalions.
So as G3, sir, anong naging reaction nyo nun, sir?
So by then, it's after declaring that all-out war, repackage our force with the Marines. I've recommended to General Simato that, sir, I think we need 2 types of forces here. We need a territorial force to guard the territory, and we need maneuver forces to run after camps and everything. While somebody is taking care of the kitchen or of the area, we have maneuver forces. That's why with one Marine Brigade there, I recommended for the activation of another task force headed by Biroya then, an army task force. So it's a combination of an army and Marine task force.
Kami yun, sir.
Lumalabas, that's Diamond.
So ano nangyari, sir?
And learning out of experience also, lessons learned out of previous operations here, that triggered the atrocities in Cotabato. The attack also of, after declaration of all-out war, forces of 6th Division started running after attacking Abubakar. They're moving in, closing in. And I think several things happened there. Nagkaroon tayo na stymie tayo doon somewhere in Matanog, while we continue to move here forward.
Yes, sir. Gusto kong ma-trace, sir, yung, di ba, sir, kahit paano naging successful tayo dito without major...
The key here, number 1 key there, is there are 2 factors yung sinabi nga natin. Knowing that my commander then was General Simato, a graduate also of Fort Leavenworth, we use the airland battle doctrine. Maximize the use of air and the land forces. Indirect fire support. It is not just merely tactical maneuver or maneuver right, maneuver left. Make use of your might. So, ginamit namin yon for launching the attack. Ngali Kamusta? Okay bang?
Apply.
Yung Ireland battle doctrine, I think it was what happened is a typical example of not using your superiority in firepower, using the air and your combat support asset. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng stymie doon. Yung frontal attack mo against an enemy who has been prepared for your attack for so many years. Yeah, you look at the orientation of the guns along that Matanog. It's oriented towards the area where you are expected to attack. So how will you? These are the doctrine na tinuturo sa atin, di ba? Maximize the use of indirect fire support. So that's what we use here in Lanao de Sur before. We maximize the use of air, land, combat support asset. But another key to the success of these operations is the sustainment. I cannot always forget the word of General Simato, the key to win a war is you need to have the right sustainment.
Which is
Sustain the force.
Pwede paki-explain, sir.
Sustain the force, meaning when you have fighting forces forward, moving on, do not let them worry about their ammunition, their foods, their supplies. Bring it to them. Forward. Casualty evacuation, somebody should take care of that. In our system, it should be that way. Eh lang, hindi natin ini-implement eh. Hindi natin ginagampanan eh. So we fail to give consideration to these units, the combat support, service support units that needs to
Actually, sir.
That's the key.
Alam ko
So what we did is we organized then a division support command to integrate all the service support units directly supporting the forward elements. But you do not have, siguro naman di kailangan, that was the situation then na kailangan gawin, ano? But with the present structure ng armed forces, may mga unit naman na dedicated for that eh. Nirepackage lang namin dati yun, General Simato, because I think kailangan eh. Somebody should bring in the ammunition, the foods, the gasoline, gano'n.
Hindi, totoo, sir. Kasi company commander ako.
Gano'n yun.
Feel ko yung...
You do not have to worry about that. Your casualty, the tendency for us pa naman, pag nagkaroon tayo ng casualty, nahihinto tayo in our movement. So somebody should take care of that. You move on. Minsan,
Anong naging impact? Lalo na, sir, nung di ba nakuha yung Munay, nakuha dito, nung paakyat na tayo dito, sir. Kasi, sir, di ba nauna na kami sa Malabang, hindi ko na na-trace yung, ito, sir, yung papunta dun sa paano naging yun, sir, yung support, na sinasabi niyo, sir? Paano tumulong talaga?
It's because, yung sabi ko, everything is planned. The staff, that's the role of the staff. The staff then are doing the thing eh. May kanya-kanyang role eh. While me as D3 and the triad staff is with the commander, somebody also at the back is doing their thing, supporting what is required of them. So the commander is also very supportive. So and then higher headquarters then was also very supportive. Na i-repackage lahat yung mga support system na yon. What support do we need? Ammunition, whatever. Nandyan lahat. To include bringing in surgeon on nurses to the forward. Nagawa natin yon as part of the service support unit.
Malapang sila.
Ganun yun. Every brigade should have its own doctor, surgeon. Kaya ibang mga doctors ngayon is noon napupunta rito eh. And even until now, ginagawa natin yun. Pinaginagawa natin yun. Every time mayroong major movements, meron tayong mga forward medical teams dito eh. Na yung trabaho, ganun. So, it's really help, Makikita mo naman, how can you expect a brigade or that's a division operation, a brigade moving forward with nobody at the back.
Paano nyo sinustain yung Marines, sir, considering na joint operation, combined, joint operations na yan?
We give them, yung sinasabi nila, mahirap i-deal yung other service, but during that time, I think we were able to work with them harmoniously, whatever the requirements are, we support them. Parang ganun lang. We supported every unit under the control of the 4th Division. Pare-pareho lahat yung treatment natin doon.
Ano mga critical operational decisions? Lanao del Norte muna tayo sa Lanao del Norte campaign, sir. Anong critical decisions nun, sir? Madali naman natapos, sir, pero ano yung naging critical decision, sir, sa Lanao del Norte campaign after Kausolan, sir?
Critical decision in what?
Like shift ng forces, naiwan na si Colonel Pagasin noon, ano yung nag-tax city kayo sa...
As far as what? You say critical decision as far as
bringing the war dito na, sir.
sa Maynila dito?
Sa Lanao.
Sa Lanao Sur.
Di ba, sir?
Because that was an all-out war. So any MILF concentrations kailangan natin kunin. There has been report about the several camps, satellite camp, main camps and everything. So after getting probably their priority camps na talagang it will affect once we get them, inuna na natin yon and move forward to Busra, to the main camp. Nung kinuha natin yung Busra, all others, wala na yun. We hit the main headquarters. That was the decision then.
Paano, di ba, sir, may threat pa rin doon sa Agus?
So that's one positive approach. That's one positive approach now to nakita nating may nagkaroon ng difference with the present setup. During the time, this area is part of 4th Division. So Agusan, Surigao area, then up to Davao area is 1 division lang yun eh. So if you have only one commander, the 4th Division commander has the authority to swing his forces. And say, ano muna kayo dyan, 10 out muna yung forces nyo in PA areas. Let's concentrate on the Lanao. So one commander lang yun. This time, hindi magkaiba because different areas na yun eh. Iba yung commander doon. We have to go up to the level of the unified command. So we have forces here of 4th Division of to 1st Division. May 8 IB dito ngayon, nandyan sa baba. Oh. So, dati, yung one unified command, isang commander lang ang nagde-decide. That's the reason why you have to bring in Joint Force Mindanao, General Luna then, to integrate the efforts, to provide SITO to the 2 unified commands. Even here, we have problem now, as far as asset is concerned. We need air assets here. Who is the nearest Air Force unit that is in the vicinity of Lanao? It's Cagayan de Oro, but remember that area is part of East Mincom. West Mincom kami. Okay, kita mo?
Ibalik nga natin noon, sir.
Noon, there's only one Southcom. The Southcom commander can move forces everywhere in Mindanao, anywhere.
How did that help, sir, yung coordination nyo noon ng 4th, 6th noon, sir, na...
The Southcom, there's only one commander. During the time, the 3 is General Ferrer, the SMENCOM commander. So, the integration is it's only one unified command. So, yung nga, sinasabi nga natin, we tend to put up this air division now with the same asset before, almost the same asset, kunti lang si mayroong nadagdag dyan. So, naghati-hati pa ngayon yung ano. So, if we need air asset now, we need to get to ask from our division, then to Zamboanga, not available, ang pinaka-available lang dyan, we have to go up to GHQ to direct SMENCOM to provide the asset. Meron circuitos. Ganun yun eh.
Sinon, sir, ang bilis eh. Ang bilis
Gaya
ang
niya.
reaction nyo nun, sir eh.
Gaya yun. And then before, there is already a dedicated asset. One good thing also during the time is even the Air Force is very supportive to the extent that they are bringing in all their yung maintenance crew. In Cagayan de Oro, they have their own base there. Meron na silang sarili nga. You do not have to bring the asset to other areas. Doon mismo inaayos na and then para main yung mga asset.
Gaano ka-important, sir, yung naging air assets yung...
If you are going to show your might, you need to have that air asset. That during that time, we still have a lot of MG 520 flying. You're using the OB. Because it's really the Air Force role there was very, very glaring to the extent that the enemy is staying in a camp, in a permanent camp. They're holding ground into the camp. You do not have to find them.
Paano ang concept of employment nyo, sir, noon ng armor? Di ba, sir, may mechanized infantry sina Sir Benny, sir? Paano nyo,
Usually, during normal situation, ang armor, ginagamit lang nating escort, security. In here, it becomes a unit, a mech infantry unit. A combination of armor elements and infantry elements. Mech infantry ang concept niya. To the extent until now, my main effort in launching attack to that Busra is mech infantry.
Why, sir?
Because the area is tankable. This is the only area where you can maximize use of tanks.
Ganon din yung
Track elements.
Ganon din yung naging decision nyo nun, sir?
Yes.
I-organize naman, sir.
Oh, we can you make maximize your superiority in arms on your asset. Utilize your armor. You have the protection, and you have the guns, big guns there. While the infantry is doing the flanking, you have a continuous move because they cannot defend against this armor asset with, say, aligning 10 armor assets frontally with 50 calibers. Forward.
Pwede balikan ko, sir, yung pag-organize nyo, sir, ng maneuver sa territorial forces, sir. Anong naging concept nyo, sir, dun sa territorial forces? Like
One big consideration kasi why we have to do that because of the Inapocor, the Agos. Remember the Agos, the National Power Corporations in this part of the country. Once they will be able to take this down, it will affect the whole of Mindanao. You really have to secure this. So there should be a dedicated unit securing the assets of the electricity generating assets, the set of government. We have to secure that. While we have maneuver forces running after the armed elements. Ganun ang ginawa natin.
Ano yung logic, sir? No?
So, dedicated commander for territory, dedicated commander for yata. That's it. It's a mix. So meaning, it's a right, ito yung sinasabi natin in lambat bitag na palagi ko rin sinasabi it's the right winning combination of forces and approaches in order to win. So, territorial forces responsible for the territory, and then maneuver forces, you can make use of this to launch offensive actions. Hindi rin po pwedeng puro Marines lang that time. That's why I recommended for an Army Brigade, a task force, to complement the Marines para dual. But under the control of the division. Kaya maneuver yon. To the extent that 3 brigades in the attack na yon. 2 to 3 brigades in the attack.
So, yung pagkyat na dito, sir, ano ang plan niyo? Ano yung offensive operations concept niyo nun, sir, nung pagkyat na dito?
That's the big problem even until now. How will you establish foothold across the lake?
Ayun, sir.
That's the big problem there. That's why you need to plug in a force there to secure the road and everything before you launch your main body.
So, how did you do
You cannot do this just yung diretsahan lang because knowing that that is their territory, I bring in 1 or 2 battalions there. Before I bring in the whole complement of the 3 brigades to launch the attack. And with superiority in number and in force and equipage, I think there was even a very minimal battle in Busra that time.
Ano na yun, sir?
Yeah, that's it. It's given. Yeah, that's it. Given.
Pero paano, saan place sa lake, sir, nyo, sa Kalanugas, sir, kayo nag-Walas?
Wala. We have 2 areas there. If you can visualize the lake, your corridor is, you can make use of the right side of the lake and the left side. We only maintain 1 MSR there on the other side. Because during the time, we are worried if we are going to plan our attack on the other side, there are still wooden bridges there. There are several bridges on the Basak and the other side, which we cannot protect. So you launch your attack there with armors, you may not be able to get the timing. Once the enemy will hit or bump the bridge. Several bridges there. That's why we plan on the other side.
Ano
So-
ba timing nyo nun, sir?